Attack on Titan 92 is out. This is the last chapter, which marks the ending of the 2-chapter flashback that people were complaining about. Now, at the start, we see a lobotomist, right, who is using a phone. Now, I will address this in my Things You Have Missed video on this chapter. So, we see a lot of Eldians, right, who are being tied up and being forced against their will. And, you know, throughout the chapter, at the end of the chapter, we see what this is for. So they are clearly in an airplane, right, because the Marley's technology is advanced. And we see Zeke and Reiner. It's been years since the whole fight with the Eldians in Paradise happened. So they are attacking the fort and they are about to deal the final blow. A lot of the Eldians are attacking, and then we see Gallia just jumping left and right, destroying the opposite enemy's troops, right? And then he starts biting the rails, right? Biting the rails. This reminds me of Ymir, okay? He starts biting the rails, and he's called, in the previous chapter, he was called the Jaw Titan. So this Titan is called the Jaw Titan. Now, the most important part of the whole chapter, right, is that Titans are not really as dominant in the battle as they used to be, because back in the days in which the Titans were powerful, those were medieval days. Now that technology is advanced, the Titans are proven as useless, right? Now we see the horse cart Titan, who is, you know, destroying things, and, you know, that's what Titans do, right? So we get Falco. Falco pulls in an enemy troop, and he's trying to use that as a bargaining chip to become one of the warriors who gets to use the power of the Titans. And, you know, we have Gabi, who insults him by saying that it's just a stretch and that Falco is not going to get anywhere with the enemy since he is injured already, right? But if you think about it, it's actually true. Also, at the end of the manga, the enemy surrendered. So what is the point of capturing one person if you have the entire union surrender to you? So you basically have them under control. So pretty much Gabi is right, and what Falco did is useless. But on the other hand, Gabi seems to have a asshole personality, and I think that is the requirement needed to become one of the legendary warriors who will, you know, inherit the power of the Titans. So one thing that we notice here in the manga is that we have the captain, right, Captain McGarth, who constantly reminds the Eldians of how bad they are, right, or how evil they are. And there was one scene where the Titans who are, you know, deployed from the plane are falling into the fortress to attack the people, eat the remainder of the people, and then, you know, Captain McGarth keeps reminding them that they are evil. And these kids, being traumatized just watching what is happening, are soaking in what Captain McGarth is saying. But at the same time, think about this. This might actually spark a rebellion within the Marley themselves, right? Because Captain McGarth is bad-mouthing them and they are getting shit treatment. So I guarantee you that at least maybe Falco or Gabi will start a rebellion. In terms of Gabi as a character, she doesn't seem to, you know, be on the side of the Eldians at all. I mean, she wants to destroy the remaining ones on the island of Paradise. So definitely it's not Gabi, it might be Falco, because he seems to have, you know, a lot more emotion when he is dealing with the enemies, right? I mean, there was a time when he was reaching out to the bird saying that the bird should go away. I don't think if it was Gabi, she would actually care for the bird, but I think that is symbolism to say that Falco is a different Eldian compared to the rest. So Falco pulls in one of the enemies, right, and then the enemy says something in another language, because this is, and maybe this is World War, right? So the person or the enemy that they are speaking to speaks a different language. And I like the fact that they included, or Hajime Isayama included, a country in there who speaks a different language, because you'll have anime, right, which has different types of people who all speak the same language. Like, that wouldn't make sense if everyone spoke the same language, you know what I'm saying? But for convenience sake, everyone speaks Japanese so that everyone else who reads or watches the show can enjoy it. But in terms of Attack on Titan, the person Hajime Isayama decided to make sure that every single country, you know, had a different language, and that, you know, adds to the realism and, you know, makes the story more, it makes the story more interactive in a sense. So the people, the Titans, get deployed, and obviously they fall into the fortress, right? Now, the reason why they did not transform to Titans is unknown, but from what it looks, they did not get injected with any Titan serum. So the question is, how did they actually turn it into Titans? I will actually think about that, and maybe I might include it in my Things You Missed video. But obviously they fall into the fortress, and you can see one of them really laughing. So I don't know if these people have been forced against their will or they are participating in this, but getting turned into a Titan is not really a good experience unless you are selected as one of the warriors. But anyways, they jump, and some of them seem happy, especially the Titan on the right who is grinning. and you know, they're all drooling, but we don't know what they're drooling. But you know, we see Reiner and Zeke shouts, and then they all turn into titans. Is this the same thing as Annie shouting and causing the Titans to eat her, or Reiner shouting and causing Berthold to, you know, respond to him? I don't know. But Zeke shouts and then they all turn into Titans. Maybe Zeke might have some kind of power over the Titans than all these others, but the Titans fall into, you know, the fortress and they start destroying everything. And then obviously Captain McGarth starts pushing these Eldians and telling them that they are monsters and devils. He says that the name or the title devil suits them because that's just what they did to the Marley back in the days, right? So maybe that will cause a rebellion. Anyways, Reiner gets a flashback by seeing the walls within the fortress, and then that reminds him of his time with Berthold and the rest back in the island of Paradis. And I mean, because of his experience of what he has experienced there before they left and came back to the Marley, he hates and despises it, and he uses his knife to injure himself before turning into a Titan. Now we don't see exactly what injured him, so I'm guessing it's either his knife or he bit his own tongue or something, but what is definitely clear is that he injured himself. So he falls down, he starts destroying things, and obviously they had him pinpointed with one of those cannons which destroys Titans, right, I think. And then what happened is that Galliard, you know, destroyed all of them and saved Reiner. So obviously Reiner destroys all the towers, and then Zeke lands. Zeke tells Reiner that war is a bad thing, even though they are the ones waging it, which is a bit, you know, contradictory and hypocritical. But the most important part of the whole chapter is that Titans are becoming obsolete. So, you know, back in the days, like I said, medieval times, Titans are most important because medieval battles was waged between men, right? And if you had a Titan, a huge beast destroying things, like in the Bible it says Goliath was really a useful soldier because he was giant, so no one dared to face him. But in this case, you have Titans who are fighting in medieval battles, which is all sticks and swords and spears and stuff. So if you have a Titan fighting on your side, then you have the clear advantage. But now that technology is taking over, the Titans are becoming obsolete, and we see this by a cannon which was used to destroy Reiner. Now Reiner is the armored Titan, so he got Zeke and he took the shot for Zeke. Now from the panel and what we are looking at here, Reiner's entire body has been destroyed, so maybe Reiner is dead, but I doubt that. But the reason why I'm saying he might be dead is because they have been hinting throughout these two chapters that someone will inherit the armored Titan. So maybe this is how it ends, and they are giving us a little bit, you know, a little bit of backstory to tell us that, you know, there's a new armored Titan going to the island of Paradis to capture everything. Now at the end of the chapter it says that they need the power of the Titans more than ever. Now this is bad news for all these Eldians, because guess what, they are being used as slaves, and you know, if they use the power of the Titans, obviously the Eldians are in trouble because they will be the ones who will be turned into Titans. And you know, that concludes pretty much the chapter. So what we learned from this chapter pretty much is that maybe Reiner is dead, and there are other ways of turning into a Titan than just injecting, right? The Eldians are being suppressed really bad, and obviously that might cause a rebellion, and also that Titans are no longer as useful as they were before. And finally, the people of the island of Paradis should be prepared, since you know the Marley are ready to go back and capture the coordinates since they have won the war. But that has been, you know, my review for today. I'm gonna make a video talking about the things that you missed, or the, you know, the subtle details and stuff. With that being said, hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, obviously subscribe and hit that notification button if you want more, and obviously watch out for some of the fun videos at the end once this one finished. And I have nothing more to say. Bye.